Hi, my name is Joseph Edscorn, and I'm a student at Sequoia High School in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Today, I'll be taking you through a little stroll, a little exploration, if you will, of a traditional Native American dish. So, you might be wondering a couple of things, like, first off, what dish are we looking at today? And second off, where am I? How did I get here? But I have an answer to exactly one of those questions, and that is potato soup. We're looking at potato soup today. So to begin, we're just going to take a little deep dive into the ingredients of potato soup and tell you about their dietary benefits and disadvantages. And to start that off, we're going to be looking at potatoes. Just as a little heads up, I had to use my screen recorder, which means the audio may not be at best value. So, just as a heads up. Alright, so to start off, we have our potatoes. When we scroll down here, you can see they have an energy of 88 kcals. We got 2 grams of proteins. We don't have any lipid fats. We have a little bit of carbohydrates, and a little bit of fiber, some sugars. Got some calcium, iron, potassium, 20 milligrams of sodium, about 2 grams of, or about 2 milligrams, excuse me, of vitamin C. And we got some other stuff that is listed down here that there are none of, which is a little bit confusing. Although I will say that they measure in grams for both the potatoes and the onions. And I measure in pounds because I'm an American, and that was the only scale we had. So I simply took the pounds, put them in here. I had about 1.5 pounds of potatoes. So that comes out to 680 grams, just about. We can round down to 680. So basically all we have to do is multiply by 6.8 and we can get the amount of anything in the potatoes. Next up are the onions. By the way, I'm using the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Data Central search, where basically you can go in here and search any food, and according to, it could be from surveys, or it could be from actual brands. You can basically just have a little label, a little nutritional label of whatever food you search. So you can have potatoes and onions. And since, you don't get nutritional labels with that stuff when you get it from the store, this is a very useful resource. As for onions and their important parts, it's mostly water. We have 89 grams of water. Then we have 40 kcals of energy. We have about 1 gram of protein. Got a little bit of lipids. Got pretty good number of carbohydrates, especially for just 100 grams. We got some fiber and some sugars, and then we got a lot of actual elements in this, from calcium all the way down to zinc and copper and selenium. And then we have a little bit of a vitamin C, actually. We have about 7.4 milligrams. We have all this good stuff, some vitamin B, some folate, got about 19 grams, 19 micrograms, excuse me, of folate. And as we go down, you just keep getting lower and lower numbers. A little bit of carotene, a little bit of lutein, plus zeaxanthin. Got a little bit of vitamin E in here, just a little bit, and a little bit of vitamin K as well. A little bit of fatty acids as well. As we go down, you can see the ratios of the fatty acids. And then down here we have cholesterol, alcohol, caffeine, and theobromine, which I'm not sure exactly why they list them here, but It's probably because they're normally like recorded in this measurement. Maybe they just are very small amounts, like they just barely made it onto the thing, but they're still there nonetheless. Which can be the same, which can be said about like the folate. Anywho, I would say that potatoes and onions are very, very healthy. Obviously, they're vegetables. They got all the natural goodies and stuff. You get a pretty good amount of energy for 100 grams on both. Well, more in the potato, but yeah, they look really, really good. Got some proteins and stuff. Although you would probably want to eat a little more protein with this because, you're getting what, 3 grams of proteins if you use 100 grams of potato and 100 grams of onion. But for the onion and the calculator, I had about 0.75 pounds of onions. So that would come out to just about 340 grams. So we can multiply by that. I will add in a little screen right after this section where I just kind of multiply all the things that I believe are important by this amount and figure out how much they are. So as you can see here, the potatoes and the onions, they increased in calories, they increased in proteins and everything. These are just closer numbers to what I believe would be what I had. As for the milk, the salt, and the pepper, I actually have those stuff and those things here today. So, for the milk, I'm not exactly sure how much I actually put into the soup itself, so I can't really answer that, because I kind of just guessed instead of measuring, because the recipe's not measured. So we got whole milk. It's, for 1 cup, we have 150 calories. We have total fat of 8 grams. 5 grams of that is saturated. We have 35 milligrams of cholesterol. We have 120 milligrams of sodium, 11 grams of carbs, no fiber, 11 grams of sugar, 8 grams of protein. Got a little bit of vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. And that's what we have. And the ingredients are just milk, vitamin D3. And then for the salt, the serving size is about 1/4 of a tablespoon, or 1.5 grams. The calories, there are no calories. It's sodium, it's all sodium. 590 milligrams of sodium in the 1/4 tablespoon. Teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon. It's got iodine, 67 micrograms. I'm guessing that's micrograms. And its ingredients are salt, potassium iodine, dextrose, sodium bicarbonate, and yellow prussiate of soda. I need to look that up. And then finally, the black pepper. It doesn't have anything about calories or percentages or like all those nutritious facts, but it does have the ingredients, and it's black pepper. I would say milk is very healthy. Milk is a healthy option for you. It's healthier than like just pop or juice or whatever. Salt is okay as long as it's not used in excess, because that's just and same with same with pepper. Like, don't use too much of it. It's basically just salt, but with spice. So don't overdo it on the salt or the pepper. The milk's pretty fine. It's pretty good. I think the only like big problem would be like if you're lactose intolerant, for one thing, and for another thing, if maybe the sugars. It doesn't say that they're added sugars though, so that's good. But that's about it. So in the next section, I'm going to be going over the recipe, and I'm actually going to be walking through it and cooking it. So you guys at home you can follow along if you want to, or you could just watch it for entertainment. So here is the recipe if you would like to follow along with me, or if you would like to save it for a later date. So to begin, you will need a pot, some potatoes, and some onions. Step 1 should always be wash your hands before preparing a meal. Step 2. Skin your potatoes. And remember to wash them afterwards to get any excess anything off. Step 3. Peel your onions. Step 4. Cut your potatoes and onions into small pieces. For my potatoes, it was really simple just to cut them up into small pieces, little cubes. As for my onions, well, I needed a bit of protection, which ended up not working at all. Oh, it's hilarious how badly this turned out. Piece of advice, if you get onion juice in your eyes, don't close them. It will just make it worse. So at this point, you should have your cut up potatoes and onions in your pot. All you're going to do right now is just fill that pot up with some water. Not all the way, but I would say just enough to where your potatoes and onions are submerged or can be submerged. For step 6, all you will need to do is boil the potatoes and onions in the water until they are easily able to be mashed. Step 7 is simply mash your potatoes and onions when ready. Step 8, when you are finished mashing, you may put in some milk. Alright, so after this, you can reheat the mixture and add in salt and pepper if desired. And there you have it. You're done. Good job. You finished potato soup. This is just really a basic recipe, so you can add in any extra ingredients like any extra vegetables, maybe some cheese or crackers maybe. But for the basic recipe, you're done. Good job, man. I always believed in you. I knew you could do it. And now, here are my live recorded reactions to my potato soup. We like club crackers, they're very delicious. But as you can see, there are 2. So we're saving 1. So in other words, it's pretty good. Could add not really a little bit of cheese, to be honest, I love cheese. That looks about good. It's pretty good. I think it's okay for. I think it's pretty good for first attempt, as I've never made potato soup before. But cheese didn't do much for it. I probably have to actually like overload it with cheese to make the cheese come out at all. But I think I needed a little bit more, like maybe another potato, or maybe two more. It doesn't give any specifics in the recipe. It's pretty vague, to be honest, but it's not vague enough to the point where I can't make it at a decent level. This is it's okay. It's not as good as like a restaurant or something. I don't know anything about spices or anything, so I'll put a little bit more salt in it. I'm gonna look up in the cabinet, see if we have any like club crackers or something, maybe some saltines. Saltines. Salad crackers. Man, there's a couple of restaurants that have like really good potato soup. Tastes nothing like it. My mom makes some really good potato soup. This tastes nothing like it. So I'm just kind of like, I'm just messing around at this point, just trying to like make this taste any better. Let me like take a piece. It's pretty good, actually. That was pretty good. Again, it's not as good as like some places. It's pretty moderate. It's pretty okay. Alright, thank you guys so much for coming here, watching this video, seeing this on your screen for, I don't know how long this video is going to be. But thank you so much. If you're watching this on the website that we made, thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for looking at our information that we worked so hard on to get out to you guys. We have some interviews and other like specifically Native American nutritious information on this website. And I just want to thank you so much for being here, for reading, for watching. And I just want you to be informed, most of all, over everything else. Just thank you so much for being here. I hope that you appreciate not only what I have done, but what my fellow students have done and what our teachers have done. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, hi. I don't know why you clicked on this, but I hope you got some good information out of it. And for the final thing, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time. I promise you that all of us, we care that you care about us. Thank you so much for your time. My name was Joseph Edscorn, and I will see you later.